In this video, I'm going to show easy exercises that can relieve a stiff, achy back in seconds. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to SpineCare with Dr. Rowe. The first exercise that we're going to do is what I call the Ballin bridge. It's great for both quick and long-lasting lower back pain relief. Great part is you can do this one right in bed or on a floor. So with the first part of this exercise, we're going to focus on loosening up tight muscle. That includes muscle knots and spasms, getting everything loosened up. For this one, we're going to need something soft and round. A tennis ball works perfectly. If you don't have one, you can take several large socks, roll them up into a ball. It should work. If you want a much more intense self-massage while doing this exercise, you can use something like a lacrosse ball, even a baseball, but I would start with something soft first and then progress into it. So let's lie on our back just like this. Our knees are going to be bent, feet flat. We're going to take our ball and place it right over the spot that we're having muscle pain. With this one, we're only going to go over muscle. Don't put it over the spine because that can cause irritation. What you want to do is press your body weight into the ball to the point where it will be a comfortable self-massage but not causing any discomfort. So once that's in place, what we're going to do next is known as a pelvic rocker or a pelvic tilt. It's going to really help open up not only the hips but also the lower back. So what I'm going to do is take my hands, put them right on my hips just like this. Imagine taking your tailbone and curling it up like this, allowing your hips to rock forward. As you do this, you're going to feel a lot of muscles across the hips and the lower back start to fire. So really focus on rocking up as much as you can, holding that for a brief second, and then going in reverse by pressing your bottom, your tailbone down into the bed or the floor. Again, holding for a brief second. You just kind of want to do this over and over again for about 5 to 10 repetitions. And as I do this, I really focus on trying to drive my body weight into that ball as much as I can to deepen that self-massage. It usually feels really, really good. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it's pretty loose, you can just switch over to any spot that's needed, including the other side, until everything is nice and loose. But if you do have one spot that just will not release, maybe there's a big muscle spasm right there, this is how we can take it to the next level and hopefully get some more relief. So let's take our ball right here and place it right over that spot that won't release. We're going to press our body weight into it. Whatever side the ball is on, in this case it's my left, I'm going to take that side's knee and take my hands right here, cup around my knee, and then do a gentle knee to the chest. Just go slowly up like this. As you do this, you're going to feel the glutes and the lower back muscles really start to fire. They really tend to tighten up. That will allow you to really drive your body weight into the ball and dig into those muscle fibers a little bit more. So what I like to do is kind of take my knee as much as I can to my chest, press my body weight down, and then I rock forward and backward like this. It usually feels really good, but it can become intense. So build into it nice and slowly. Again, do this for about 5 to 10 repetitions of rocking forward like this and then back. And then afterwards, see how you feel. Keep repeating it until everything is nice and loose. And you can switch over any spot, including the other side, and repeat until, again, everything is nice and loose. So once we do have everything nice and loose, what we're going to focus on now is the bridge exercise, which is going to help strengthen muscles for long-lasting relief. Again, we can do this one lying on our back in bed or on a floor. What you want to do is have your legs roughly hip-width apart, knees bent, feet flat. What you're going to start off with is bracing the core muscles to help support the spine. It's kind of like sucking your belly button towards your spine and feeling your core muscles tighten, and then you're going to squeeze your glutes and then hold that position. Your hands can be put on your hips or off to your side like this for support. So it's pretty straightforward. We're just going to lift our hips upward towards the ceiling as much as we can until our knees, our hips, and our shoulders are in a nice straight line. If you're not able to get into that position due to weakness or pain, like let's say you can only lift up an inch or two, do the best you can. Over time, hopefully you'll gain strength and flexibility to get into this position, but you should feel a ton of muscles start to fire. The core, the lower back, the glutes, the legs, everything that helps support that lower back. So we're going to hold this one comfortably for 5 seconds. We're going to relax, and then we're going to repeat this 10 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, you can always throw in another set or two. To take the bridge to the next level, as you do this, you can do a marching motion by just lifting one leg up, holding it for a second, coming back down, and then doing it on the other side. It's definitely a lot more challenging. So give that a try for about 10 repetitions on both sides. And again, throwing in another set if you feel you have the energy. So here's one of my favorite exercises for treating a stiff back. It's known as the Ballerina. The great part is you can do this when standing, so it's great to do right at work. What we're going to do is whatever side that you're having pain, let's say it's your right side, you're going to take the painful side's leg and place over the other one just like this. Your toes are going to be pointed straight ahead. The non-painful side, you're going to take the hand on that side, stabilize the hip. The other hand is going to go overhead just like this. Now you know why we call it the Ballerina. The movement from here is very straightforward. What we're going to do is bend through our waist and lower back like this towards the non-painful side. So if my right side hurts, I'm going to bend towards the left. The more that you bend towards that side, the more it's going to help open up the lower back, and it usually feels really, really good. What you want to focus on is feeling a deep stretch from the bottom of the ribs going into the lower back towards the hips right here, and only go to a point where it's comfortable. Once you feel that, you want to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds and do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Let out as much tension as you can. From there, you're going to relax, take a breather, and then repeat this 3 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. If you would like to take the Ballerina to the next level, as you do this stretch, what you want to do with the other side, the non-painful side, is drive your hips towards the painful side. So I'm leaning towards my left and then driving my hips towards the right. This will really intensify it, so build into it slowly. And I do recommend doing this on both sides just to keep everything in balance. So here's a great stretch that can not only help with lower back stiffness, but also help target our hips. So if you have a lot of lower back pain and hip pain, give this one a try. It's known as the 90-90 stretch. Let's get into position. What we're going to do is start on a floor with one leg straight in front of us like this, knee bent at 90 degrees. The other leg is going to go straight off to our side, knee also bent at 90 degrees. A couple notes about this exercise. Whatever side that your feet are pointing towards, so in this case it's my left, we're going to use the other side's arm off to our side like this for support. We're also going to try to keep our knees flat during this exercise, so don't lift up on them like this. What we want to do with this back hip is during the exercise, press it straight down into the floor. This will help activate a lot of muscles across the hips and the lower back, including the glutes. So let's press that hip down into the floor, and then what we're going to do with our other hand is now kind of like a scoopy motion like this, reach towards the other side. So what I'm doing is leaning forward and towards my right at the same time while driving this hip straight down towards the floor. As you do this, you're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire, especially in the lower back and the hips. Usually feels really, really good. When you can't go any further, you're going to hold this comfortably and now take it to the next level by rotating your chest downward towards the floor at the same time. So really focus on trying to just turn that chest down towards the floor. You'll feel a ton of muscles start to fire. You want to hold this one comfortably for about 15 to 20 seconds. You're just going to relax, and then what you're going to do is repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. And I do recommend switching the orientation of your legs to the other side and repeating just to keep everything in balance. So if you usually wake up with a stiff back in the morning, you have to give this one a try. It can give relief within seconds. So what we're going to do is start lying flat on our back in bed or on a floor. You want your legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. We're going to do what are known as windshield wipers first. So what I'd like to do is try to keep my back flat and then press my heels gently into the bed or the floor. And then what you're going to do is just take your knees from side to side, really focusing on moving through your hips only at the beginning. So again, we're trying to keep our back flat. Keep taking them down until you feel a deep stretch in your hips. Usually feels pretty good. You want to hold this one comfortably for a second or two, and then what you're going to do is go towards the other side. So just kind of like a windshield wiper going back and forth. I like to do this one for about 10 repetitions on both sides. But if it feels pretty good, you can throw in as many repetitions as you like. So after this, now we're going to focus on opening up the back just a little bit more. So this time around, what I'm going to do now is lift my legs up like this. So my knees are kind of right up towards the ceiling, knees bent roughly at 90 degrees. Take your hands, put them off to your side for support. Similar motion, but this time around what we're going to do is go down like this and now try to move a little bit more through our lower back. This really helps open it up. And if your back is pretty stiff and locked up, you might get a sudden pop, crack, or release, but don't try to force it. What you want to do is just hold this for a brief second, and then you're going to repeat on the other side, doing this nice and slowly, again, for 10 repetitions, but throw in as many repetitions as you like. So if you really want to open up a stiff back, after doing all these, you can do what is known as a corkscrew. So for this one, we're just going to lie flat like this. We're going to straighten one leg, and then the other leg is going to go bent at 90 degrees. What you're going to do is take the hand on the other side, put it right on the outside of your knee, and what you're going to do is keep your back flat, and you're just going to turn, or I should say pull, your knee across your body as much as you can until you feel a really deep stretch form in your lower back. Only go towards a comfortable stretch. Again, this one might cause that satisfying self-pop, crack, or release, but don't try to force it. Once you feel that deep stretch, how we're going to take this one to the next level is putting our other arm up towards the ceiling like this, and now rotating our chest and our head towards the other side. And this was what puts that corkscrew effect in the lower back. I like to hold this one for about 20 seconds. I just relax, and then I repeat this 3 times. And with each repetition, just try to build into it just a little bit more. And I do recommend doing this on both sides just to keep everything in balance. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.